That's my jam right there, babe. I love that tune. Hey, welcome. We're together again. How exciting is this? This is show number 107, Good Health by Claudia podcast with me, Denny Schaefer, and of course, Claudia, the star of the podcast. It's a production of Denny Radio. We appreciate you week after week coming and enjoying this information for free, by the way, and sharing it. You know, that's how you repay us back, by sharing the videos and telling people about it.
Knowledge should be shared.
It should be.
That's what it's for. It's to be shared, you know.
It's because, you know, you can save lives.
Yeah.
You really can. You can definitely improve lives. I know my life's been improved since I've known you since the 90s, for crying out loud.
Right.
We've known each other forever.
Seems like yesterday, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Time just flies.
Yeah.
All right. So today we're going to talk about, are we talking about the nasty weeds that I hate?
We're talking about those beautiful dandelions.
She loves dandelions. Me, I'm not a fan.
Well, you know,
but I don't think I've looked at it in the right way, though.
Right. Well, everyone has been taught that they're a weed and you should kill them. And while they're dumping pesticides on their lawns, they're making themselves sick, their animals sick, everybody's sick. It's like, this is one of the most nutritious plants that we have been gifted. Okay. And it's a beautiful, you know.
So did you bring any dandelions for me to taste?
No.
I mean, you don't just pluck them out of the grass and just start eating them.
But we do sell a lot of dandelion greens at the store.
What a dandelion
well, you
taste
see
like?
It's wonderful. You put it in your salad. It's another beautiful green.
I know, but what's it taste like?
I don't know. I'm the worst at describing taste. I don't know how to tell you what it tastes like. But, well, next time you're at the store, we'll try some dandelion greens together.
Okay, maybe we'll do a little road trip. We'll do something over there at your store where I try some of this stuff.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So why did you choose dandelions? Why? I mean, I know it's the time of the year where everybody's getting ready to take care of their lawns. Everybody's, you know,
that's why
you're having your first couple of cuts of your lawn and edging and trimming, and you're gonna, you know, treat your lawn, or somebody else is gonna treat your lawn, or so that's why you decided to do it. Okay.
And a couple weeks ago, we talked about the importance of bees and pollinators.
Oh, yeah.
So this goes hand in hand with that. So every year we, you know, remind customers, and a lot of our customers know not to spray, because that's why they're coming into a health food store.
Mm-hmm.
But they're surrounded with neighbors and whatever that are spraying. And, you know, so everyone needs to remember, pesticides are toxic.
Poison.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. Of course they're toxic. So if, you know, and all these people come in and, you know, a couple times a week, I'll have somebody say, why is everybody getting cancer? Well, they're eating toxins in the food. Yeah. They're spraying pesticides all over the place. You've got GMO. I mean, it's a sad thing we're up against, because our food supply should not be allowed to get messed with. Period. This is something that everyone should have the right to eat clean food. But big business is big business, and it doesn't care. So it's all about the money.
Why are these big corporate farms and stuff allowed to use these pesticides when we know they're bad for us?
Well,
they can lead to cancer.
That's a question for the EPA. You know, I always think about that. Environmental Protection Agency.
Mm-hmm. Protecting
then what are they protecting?
The big business.
Protect the environment, for God's sake.
Protect the people.
You know, everybody allows it. That's why I've said for years, the only way to make a change in what we're up against is for individuals to make the change.
Right.
Because, you know, big companies making lots of money, and it's fair to say there are people that are doing things that are contaminating everybody, and then they have their money in the drugs in the sick care side. So I just say every day, I'm grateful I don't make my money like that. I would not want to make money off of harming other people and then profiting from it. That's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, they're looking at their bank account. They're not actually looking at their
It's very
neighbors.
sad.
I had an uncle who died like right around the age I am right now. He had cherry trees, and I remember watching him do it. He would go out there, and he had the big plastic thing on the back of his tractor,
Mm-hmm.
and he would go out there and he had a hand sprayer and he would spray his trees.
Yeah.
He ended up dying of cancer, like right around my age,
Mhm.
which is I'm in my 60s. I know I don't look it. Anyway,
And you don't act it.
never, and I never will. But he, what a good man. But there was no way to prove that's what caused it. But everybody knows that's what caused it.
Well, I mean, listen, when people say, excuse me, show me the studies, it's like, are you kidding me?
They're out there, man. They're out there.
They're out there. But besides the studies, why should we need a study to prove what just makes sense?
Right.
These chemicals are from petroleum. And they're turning them, there's over 80,000 derivatives of petro. And pesticides come from petro.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when we see the ecosystem is whacked out and the bees are dying and the birds are dying and we got all these people with cancer and we've got all these children coming in with cancer. Come on, it shouldn't take studies to tell us we need to change things. But again, big business is never going to do it. It has to come from the public.
Well, and that's
how I feel. That's my opinion.
And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I've said it for years and I'm sticking to it, man.
Choosing profit over people.
Absolutely.
I'm not, because I don't make any money. I'm on the radio. So but these big companies and corporations, they're choosing profit over people.
And the overseeing bodies that should be stopping what's happening
have sold out.
Well, but they were designed to protect what's happening, and that's in the history.
But they don't.
Well,
are we talking about politicians?
Well, the system, all these organizations like the Environmental Protection Agency, when you look at the history of FDA and all these things, they're there to protect the system and what's being produced, not protect the public and the earth. So we have to change that. So
that's why we're here, people.
That's why we're here.
We're taking on that heavy load, so you don't have to.
Well, no, we need everybody to join in.
Oh, too late. Now you're in.
We need everybody to join in. And the beauty of it is that more and more people are.
They are.
More and more because they're frustrated.
I am.
And what's happening doesn't make sense to them. They want to protect their own families, their children, their grandchildren. So it is, we want people to join in. It takes anyway.
And we do, and I'm glad that we're doing this podcast because this helps people. All right, let's talk about the weed that I don't like, but I'm soon to fall in love with the dandelion.
Yep. So we made some slides today. Everybody has told me they like the slides. And I've used slides for years in classes. So I'm glad we're doing slides.
We're a very professional podcast now, Claudia.
So here, I wanted to start with dandelions are perennial herbs. They are native to Asia and Europe. They were brought over by the settlers. Well, I guess I jumped to the other book. Imported to North America by early settlers for food and medicine. That's why they brought it, because dandelions have, they're a bitter herb. That's why it says known historically as, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what that is, but it's lion's teeth.
Right.
And it's in the bitter herb category. So
no, that doesn't sound tasty.
These herbs, and they're not, but the beauty of bitter herbs is they're some of the most powerful, productive herbs for the digestive system. So there's a whole, in fact, most people know bitters from, what do you put them in the drinks? They put bitters in alcohol.
Oh.
But bitters have come from, they've been used historically for digestion. So dandelion is one of those herbs in that category. It was used by the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. So it's been around a long time. So
when the settlers came and they're packing the ship to come over here, somebody's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's take the dandelions with us.
Because they ate them and they used them as with medicine, as they called it.
That's just wild. Isn't that wild? That just fascinates me.
Well, and it's always interesting to me, when I'm always looking at different medical sites and all sites. I want to see what everybody's saying. And when I see these medical sites that say there's no human studies on herbs, well, if you don't think, herbs have been documented for thousands of years. If those aren't the human studies, I don't know what is.
Right.
That's the whole point. If they were dangerous, none of us would be around to talk about it.
Exactly.
But it's thousands of years later, and here we are. So when we study, nutritional approaches, health approaches from other cultures. Of course, they were using plants. That's
Right.
what they had.
So around here, dandelions are pretty popular.
Well, they're everywhere.
If you wanted to, because this never occurred to me before, so I'm assuming you probably could go to a feed store or a place where you get seed.
Well,
could you actually buy dandelion seeds and like have dandelion boxes in your house?
I mean, some people do.
That you wouldn't, they'd be pesticide free because you wouldn't spray them with anything.
Right.
You
never
water
want to
'em.
eat dandelions out in the world that you don't know if it's been sprayed. You
Right.
don't want to do that ever.
So is that what you're suggesting as far as dandelions, or do you have dandelion supplements?
We do.
And
And one of the slides will show how to get dandelion. That's what we added to that slide.
Got it.
So people could see there's a lot of products on the market that offer dandelion, extract, capsules. We're going to show a Dandy Blend is a dandelion.
Ooh.
A lot of people have gotten rid of coffee and they love this blend. And it's all based in dandelions.
Okay, who are these people that got rid of coffee?
Oh,
I don't trust anyone who doesn't drink coffee. I don't. Coffee, are you kidding me? That's the only thing I will not give up. There's a lot of things I'll give up. Never will I
wait
give
a minute.
up
You're
coffee.
an A blood type, aren't you?
I am an A blood type.
Okay, so A is right in the book. It says coffee
Yeah,
is on your good list.
I
But
know.
of course, you want it to be organic
I
coffee.
do.
You don't want to drink coffee beans that have been sprayed.
I don't.
And of course, our coffee,
organic.
which we sell a lot of coffee,
Which is
it's all
delicious.
tested for mold.
Mold.
Yeah, some coffees have mold in it.
Well, now I got to worry about that.
Well, you should be getting the coffee from the store.
Well, I have.
Okay, well, there you go. Remember, we had Jim on from Jim's
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Yes, and that was
delicious.
Boy, that was, I don't know what episode that was, but nonetheless,
I like stopping in
A
your
lot of-
store because you have coffee right there.
yeah, of course, we sell coffee.
Shop and have some coffee.
Yeah. So dandelions are a beautiful plant. They've been really attacked in the Western world as a pest, as a weed, as a whatever they call them.
Now, when you're a little kid, you lay around in the grass, and then when they would die and they would be all white, you'd
Right.
blow them and let them go to the wind. You'd watch them around, when you're a little kid.
yeah.
I never thought that one day you should eat them.
Well, you want to eat them before they get to that point.
Okay.
And we have a lot of customers that, of course, they don't spray their lawns.
Right.
And they eat the dandelions out of their lawn. I mean, I've done that quite often, actually. So they're very.
Do your neighbors watch you when you're out there on the
they don't.
grass and they see you out there just grabbing a
They
dandelion,
now
eating
they
it?
just see me pulling out dandelions. But the beauty of a dandelion plant, you can use the whole plant, the flower, the root, the stem.
all of it.
Well, the root is what they make a lot of the beverages with, the dandelion beverages.
They have dandelion beverages.
Yeah, so let's go to the next slide. You're
All right.
funny.
And by the way, please, if you have any comments, you know what to do. Here we go.
All right, so nutritious dandelions for our soil. So they're good they're important for the environment, and they're important for us. So they help replenish depleted soil. Their tap roots are very deep, so they aerate the soil. That's why you find them in a lot of really funky looking areas where it's all that soil is all hard and whatever. It's aerating it. They help to restore the pH of the soil. They thrive in urban pollution and tough conditions. They add nutrients back to the soil when they decompose.
Who knew?
And they pollinate the honeybees and the butterflies.
I knew that.
And they're very important because, as we talked about in that podcast a couple weeks ago, if we lose the bees, it's not going to be a good scene, because a huge percentage of our food supply will no longer be able to get pollinated. So leave the dandelions alone. Let them be. And the bees will appreciate it. The butterflies will appreciate it. So dandelions are telling us about the quality of the soil and come as a gift to repair it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Now, the thing is, some people are reactive to dandelions. Like any plant, they can get, allergic type reactions. So that's why, but when people first start dandelion at the store, I always have them start a small amount.
Okay, so what are dandelions going to do for you, these supplements?
Okay, go to the next slide.
Slide number 3.
There you go.
Here we go.
So they're beneficial for our good health. The leaf, the root, the flower can be consumed. They're rich in potassium, calcium, iron, and manganese. They contain vitamins A, C, and K. They're very rich in flavonoids and polyphenols. We've talked about polyphenols in other podcasts.
Right.
They're in that antioxidant group. So they're nourishing. They're nourishing at a cellular level. They support, dandelion supports the liver, the kidneys, blood sugar, digestion. There's a lot of research on dandelion. We kept it very simple. They support the liver. And, as I said, because they're in the bitter category, they're very good for digestion.
Right.
But we use one of the things that they're very good at. Dandelion acts as a natural potassium sparing diuretic, increasing urine output to reduce fluid retention and bloating. And I'll tell you, the other day we had a gentleman and his doctor wanted to put him on a diuretic and he got sick from it. So the doctor said, go talk to Claudia, see what there is. He started using dandelion. He told me just the other day, he says it's incredible. I feel good. He's urinating properly. So remember, herbs have a beautiful purpose and they're very effective.
That's just amazing. I think people, should check with you, just to get your input on, whatever medications are on.
Well, and again, I always tell everybody, I don't pretend I'm a doc.
Right.
I've got 50 years of experience in what I do.
Right.
And we have a lot of docs that refer to us because they trust our guidance. And I've learned a lot from them. I've learned a lot from researchers, biochemists, been very blessed on this journey.
Right.
So, we just do our best to keep learning. And dandelion is a beautiful way to support the urinary system and to help it flush. But because it's rich in potassium and other minerals, it protects the electrolytes. So it's a beautiful product.
I mean, it's just amazing.
So there's one more slide. Let's see what it is.
Actually, I think there's two.
Are there two? Oh, that's
Two.
right.
Here we go.
We had to show stats.
Oh, here it comes.
Always got to show stats.
Get them, Claudia.
So this is from the EPA. 80 to 100 million pounds of pesticide active ingredients are dumped on lawns annually. We missed something there. That didn't. But at any rate, 80 to 100 million pounds are being used annually in the U.S. on lawns. That's a lot of pesticides, man.
It's funny because I live in a condo now, so my lawn doesn't get treated. But when I had my house, they would come treat my lawn, and then they would stick a little stick in there, and a little sign on there that says, "Keep pets off lawn for 24 hours."
Yeah,
and I'm thinking, okay, well, if it's not good for pets, it's probably not good for me.
Exactly, or anything else, really.
Right.
So yeah, it's. I think the stats are very important, and when we see them from organizations that a lot of people respect, that to me makes them even more powerful stats.
Yeah.
So homeowners use up to 10 times more chemical pesticides per acre
It's crazy.
on their lawns than farmers use on agricultural crops. Now that
so people do more on their lawns than farmers do on their farms.
Yeah, and that's pretty bad because
That's
they're
great.
using
That's scary.
that is, but this is, and I was out I went to, I think it was at Menards. I needed nails for something. And you walk in, all over. I'm just not picking on one store. It's
Right.
all over. You
Right.
see this mountain of these, pesticide products for the lawn. And I'm thinking, oh my God, people need to learn to stop buying this stuff. So anyway, again, goes back to the individual. The U.S.
I think it's ignorance, Claudia. I think it is. I don't think people realize they're poisoning themselves and their families.
And that's
I
why
just don't. I didn't realize that. I thought it was safe.
Well,
They tell you.
when you see a big skull and crossbone on a label, it tells you it's not.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good indicator.
So the U.S. home and garden pesticide market is forecast to reach $3.2 billion by 2028. Hopefully we can make a change in that, Denny.
We're starting.
Hopefully. Out of the 26 most widely used pesticides in the U.S., 12 are classified as carcinogens by the EPA. Now, my guess is that as they keep, doing research on all this stuff, they're going to find they're all carcinogens.
Yeah.
I mean, how would they not be? They're all coming from the same source.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and yet our government allows it.
it's sad. So here we are, and nobody should wonder why cancer rates escalating.
No.
So, And the saddest thing is the babies that are being born with all these different, rare cancers. Well, they're picking it up in utero. I was talking to a doc about this. In fact, I asked him, will you come on the podcast and talk about this? He said, no. If ever I could get all the docs that have said things to me in my office behind closed doors, if I could get them to say it publicly, it'd be very cool.
You know why they can't?
Well, of course, they don't want anyone come down on them. They don't
Cancel
want to be
culture.
harassed.
Cancel.
Yeah, it's
Big
a sad
pharma.
thing. So anyway. So all right, we got one last slide.
Yep, here you go. Products. Here's where you get your dandelion supplements.
This is the different ways you can get it. Now makes a great dandelion root in a capsule. Now there are other family-owned companies that do, but we just picked one of. So Now makes a great one in a capsule. Nature's Answer is family-owned. Hopefully they'll be on the podcast one of these days. Their whole line is extracts. The whole line.
That's all they have.
That's all they. Well, now they've come out with encapsulated, but for many years they started with extracts. Great product, great company. So this is a dandelion root extract. You can put it right in the mouth. You can put it in water. Some people put it in tea. So Celebration Herbs, the box there, that's another family-owned company. That's a tea bag. So you can steep it up and make your own tea. Okay. And then Dandy Blend, this is another wonderful company. This is a product. It's like a coffee substitute. There's chicory in it. There's dandelion. I forget what else is in it, but we sell a ton of it. And for people that want to get away from coffee and find something else in the morning.
Is there caffeine in it?
No.
Then I'm not having it in the morning. Okay. I need my coffee in the morning. But I'm interested in the dandelion tea.
Oh yeah.
I like tea. I'll drink decaffeinated tea like later on in the day.
Yeah.
I don't just keep the coffee going because that's too much.
Yeah.
But in the afternoons, I'll have some tea.
So that would be a nice one for you to check out. And remember, it's helping. Remember, we're going to do a whole thing on the liver, because the liver is amazing. Well, the human body is amazing. The way we were designed is amazing. And everything in our body has a purpose, has a place. It's all working together. Unfortunately, Western medicine is separating it. But that's why a lot of the older docs that were from years ago, they saw the body as a whole, and that's how they treated it. It was very beautiful. But at any rate, remember that a dandelion will support the liver. It helps because of the liver, because it'll help the gallbladder have healthier bile. It's very important for the urinary system. It's good for a lot of things. They're doing research on it. It helps to stabilize blood sugar. So it's a really beautiful,
you can get that in the tea, the dandelion tea.
Yes, there's bulk. This company makes bulk and tea bag.
Okay, I like tea bag.
Yeah.
I just like to steep it and just drink it.
Yeah, so, hopefully people start not spraying their lawns. Don't spray your lawn. And, again, I said it earlier, it's affecting the animals. We're getting... I had this was about 6 months ago, a vet, we were talking in the store, and he was just saying, he's, older vet. And he was saying the changes he's seeing in the sickness of the animals.
Right.
You've got cats getting respiratory problems, and you've got, they're getting blood sugar, and dogs are getting all these tumors and their paws, they're being exposed to the same junk that's harming the humans. So we need the humans to be wiser.
Yeah.
And to, I always say, not always, I start to say, quit getting drugged, get nourished.
Yes.
Right? Quit getting drugged, get nourished.
We're going to get stickers made up of those.
Yeah, Nature's Pharmacy.
Put them in the store.
And that's why there's thousands of plants to teach people about. It doesn't mean you have to take handfuls of stuff every day.
Right.
There are certain products that I will use once in a while, and I have my everyday stuff, and then there's things that I'll add in and take, you rotate stuff.
Yeah.
But you get the benefit of all these different beautiful tools that God, nature, whatever you want to say, has supplied us with.
Awesome. I never thought in a million years episode 107 or any of the episodes would be on dandelions, but there you go.
There you go.
All right. Anything else you want to say about dandelions?
Only that some people, as I said, some people will tell you they get itchy eyes, and it's a plant, but not everybody responds like that. That's why especially when customers are new, we haven't, worked together before. I start one thing at a time. One. And we keep it simple. And you start low and work up and listen to how your body is responding. And so we see we sell a lot of dandelion products because not everybody reacts to them. Mm-hmm. So it's a beautiful plant. Consider it in your toolbox, and definitely be kind to the dandelions in your yard, and know that they're helping the bees to pollinate. They're helping the butterflies. There's other critters, but anyway, they're very important.
Please share the podcast. It helps us and it helps you because it gets the word out, shows that you care.
Yeah.
So, all right. Like always, I'll give you the last word, Claudia.
Well, my mother used to say, when we learn things, it's knowledge. And when we put it into action, that's wisdom. So gain the knowledge, put it into action, embrace the wisdom. So many beautiful things can change in somebody's life, because when you improve your health, it changes everything. I've worked with very wealthy people. I've worked with people from every spectrum of life that you can. It doesn't matter how much money you have. I've worked with very wealthy people that were not having fun in life because they were sick. Mm. So do yourself a favor, get on the side of wellness, get out of the mentality of being sick and going to the doc, learn, embrace, gain that wisdom. You'll be grateful. You'll be very happy that you did. So thank you for tuning in. And as always, keep the faith, everybody. There's a lot of beauty in the world. So peace.